Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about the profit percent series indicators and all the common settings. Each indicator in this series has two parts. This base strategy. So there will be an arrows indicator which will show you the buy and sell signals based on the base strategy, and the stop loss and take profit lines, and also the profit and loss percentages based on whether the TP was hit or whether the SL was hit. And the other part of this is the dashboard scanner. It will show you all the information which is specific to that strategy, and also the take profit percentages, like this will be TP1, TP2, and it will also show you the total number of signals generated, like right here T15. So this will scan the past bars and all the up down signal arrows, and when the buy sell signal occurs you will also get these arrows and number of bars back when the arrows occurred. Let's go back to the arrows indicator. I will talk about all the individual strategies in separate videos for those indicators, but this is just a video to describe all the common settings for these profit percent series indicators. So let's go look at the settings. First one we have, for the arrows indicator you will have this override settings. So if there is a .set file in your files folder, mql4/files folder, then you can specify that set file over here. In that case it will use all the settings from that and it will ignore all of these settings. This set file will override these. It's basically suppose you have a template that you want to use over multiple charts and you don't want to set each and every setting, it can be used for that. Next up we have prefix. All the symbols in this, these SLTP lines and all of these other components, they use this unique prefix to create the symbol names. So to make sure that there are no conflicts with other indicators on the chart, make sure that this prefix is unique. Next we have max past bars. This is the number of bars, the past bars to scan for signals. So suppose we are scanning for 1000 bars and we get 13 signals. So you can set this to 5000 if you are looking to check for more bars, but please note that if you have this to a larger number, then the scanner dashboard will take that much time to load. The arrows indicator won't take that much time because it will show you for a single pair and a single time frame. And all of these other settings are these are specific to the confluence indicator. This is the MA confluence strategy and these settings are specific to that. So I'll discuss that in a separate video and I'll put all the links in the description below. Right here, these are the common settings. We have the stop loss and take profit calculations. By default, the TP and SL are calculated by using ATR, and you can specify all the ATR settings right here. So this will create the ATR channels, and based on those channels you will, based on these settings, these channels are created. Let me just quickly show you the ATR channels. Right here, these are the settings that you can specify in the arrows indicator, and it will create these take profit and stop loss lines. These ATR channels will create these SLTP lines. Going back, right here in ATR settings we have specified take profit values to 2 and 3 and stop loss values to -2 and -3. So the possible TP values can be 1 to 3, which means that if there is a sell signal, for example, then this will be channel 1, 2, 3, and this will be channel -1, -2 and -3. And same way, if it's a buy signal, then this will be 1, 2, 3, and these will be -1, -2, -3. And you can specify this here. Suppose if I have 1, 2, 3, if I use all the channels -1, -2, -3 and press OK, in that case it will give me TP1, 2 and 3, and same way stop loss, all of these stop losses are also calculated. Going back to the, let me just remove the channels for now and go back to the settings. Now if you are scalping, you might want the channels to be closer together. Let me set these back to 2 and 3. In that case, you can change these multipliers right here. Since we are using channels 2 and 3, let me try 1.5 or maybe 2 and 3 and 4. If I have these values, and as you can see, these stop loss, take profit, these will move closer together right here. So based on these values you can set the SLTP, but with ATR the problem is sometimes that TP1 might be too close and price might almost have reached it. In this case you could ignore the signal when take profit is already hit, and you can set this setting to true. So if TP1 is already hit, then that signal will be ignored. If I set this to true, then you can see that 15 signals were ignored, because sometimes the SLTP lines are too close together, and whenever a signal is ignored for some reason, you will see these blue crosses, and if you go over that, you will also see the reason why that signal was ignored. All of these are TP1 was already hit when the signal occurred. And another reason why a signal can be ignored is if the same direction signal is very close together. So for example, if you get a buy signal right here, and if you get another buy signal before 5 bars, in that case the second signal will be ignored. So you can specify that number right here, and if you don't want any signals to be ignored, then just specify 0 right here. Now another setting is exit on new and opposite signal. So let me just set this to false, and let me set this back to right. So sometimes, suppose a signal has occurred but only take profit 1 has been hit, and TP2 and SL2 both have not yet been hit, and if you get a new signal, in that case you will get this yellow cross, and it will count that signal as new signal exit. So when a new signal occurs, you should close the old signal right here instead of letting it reach to the stop loss, because that will definitely be a loss. And if you get a yellow cross for a new signal exit, it will be counted as this NE1 and NE2. It won't be counted in the TP1, so it won't be counted as a success. And you can also, if you don't want to ignore, if you don't want to close on a new signal, then you can set this to false. In that case, it won't show you this yellow cross and it will count stop loss as that hit. So that's it for ATR. Next we have the other options with which you can set stop loss and take profit. You can have fixed stop loss and fixed take profit. In that case, it will use these points to set the SLTP, and you can have as many points as you want, like 200, 400, 600. This will become TP3, 800. This will become TP4, and so on. You can have as many SLTP values as you want here. With ATR you can only get 3 values. And let me show you how the points are calculated. Suppose you are trading euro dollar and price is right here, and if you set for a buy signal, if you set take profit to 200 and 400 points, in that case it will set TP1 to this value and it will set TP2 to 400. And if you are trading dollar yen and it is at this value, the price is at this value, and for buy signal, in that case TP1 will be right here and TP2 will be right here. So that's how these point values are calculated. Let me minimize this. And you can same way set the stop loss, so it will set these in the opposite direction. And the other setting, which is an even better setting, is stop loss and take profit multiplier factor. In this case, take profit will now depend on stop loss, and if we have it the other way around, like take profit is ATR and stop loss is, then stop loss will depend on take profit, and you can set the multiplier values right here. So if take profit is ATR and stop loss is take profit 1 multiplier, then it will calculate the stop loss values by multiplying TP1 with 2 and right here. So let me just show it to you. If TP1 and TP2 are both calculated using fixed or ATR values, and SL1 and SL2 are calculated using the multiplier factor, then stop losses will depend on TP1. In that case, stop loss 1 will be TP1 into 2. Right here, if you define this as 2 and 3, then stop loss 1 will be TP1 into 2 and stop loss 2 will be TP1 into 3. So for both the cases, take profit 1 will be used, and you can specify the multiplier. For this, please note that you can't have the same X factor, the multiplier factor for both, because both of these can't depend on each other. At least one of them needs to be fixed value or ATR so that the other one can depend on it. Yes, that's it for the stop loss take profit calculations. Next, we already talked about the exit on this will give you the yellow crosses, and it will update these yellow values, and ignore both of these. Ignore these will give you blue crosses, and it will ignore that signal, and it will show it to you right here how many signals were ignored. And next we have alerts. So if you want detailed logs for exactly why a signal is has been generated or why a signal is ignored, then set this to true, and you will get logs like, let me just show you. If I maybe make a change right here, let me set this to 5000 values and press OK. It will show you, it will study the past bars, and it will show you all of these signals. Sorry, let me open the journals log. Right, so with this base strategy, we are using OBV, and we are using a minimum distance with OBV moving average. So it will, and it will just show you for each of those signals when the moving average cross happened. So basically in the journals log you will get exactly why a signal was generated or why it was ignored. Let me go back to the settings, and let's just look at the other alerts. If you have pop-up alerts true, then whenever a new buy or a sell signal happens, you will get a pop-up, and you can set sound alerts, and you can also have push notifications, in which case it will send you a notification on your mobile phone app, or you can set email settings in the MetaTrader, and you will get an email. And these next few settings, these are about the visibility of different elements on the screen. They are just to make sure that your chart doesn't get too cluttered. So if you want these stop loss take profit lines to be drawn, keep this to true. Most of these are true by default, and if you want this success rate panel to be shown or hidden, whether you want these arrows to be visible, and if you want point values, so if you set this to true, you will get point values in brackets besides these take profit and stop loss lines, but that just makes it overlap a lot. So by default I have kept it to false. And if you want these SLTB TP labels to be shown, if you keep this to false, by default you know that stop loss will be closer, SL1 will be closer, SL2 will be farther. So you can hide these labels, and you can also hide these tick marks or these crosses, and you can set the font size. Right now it's at 8. If you want smaller fonts, set this to maybe 5 or 6. You can also set the arrow size. If you want smaller arrows, just set this to 1, and you can also set how far the distance of the arrows, how far it is from price. Right here, if you are using Heiken Ashi like this, in that case you might want the arrow to be below the Heiken. So in that case you can use a value like 2. Let me just leave it at 0.2 for now. And these final settings, these are about the this stats panel. You can set the positioning of it. You can also set the space between these text values. You can set the font size, and you can also set the width of the panel. And finally all of these are colors like stop loss, take profit lines, and the new signal exit this yellow cross. The blue cross when we get ignore. Suppose if you are using a lighter theme like a white background, in that case you might want these colors to be darker. And finally the stats background color. So that's it for the arrows indicator settings. And let me just quickly go over the dashboard settings. The dashboard will have the same exact settings based on the strategy. Right here we had the EMA confluence, so all of these settings are for that strategy till right here, and below this we have the same strategies, same settings for stop loss, take profit. All of this is exactly the same as I explained, and whether you want the new and opposite signals to be to make the signal exit, whether you want take profit already hit, these signals to be ignored, these are the exact same settings. And right here we have the same settings for alerts, and these are the dashboard specific settings. So you can set your own preset, whether you want to specify your own pair list. In that case you can have a comma separated list, and you can also use anything your broker provides, like if you're trading BTC or if you're trading a particular stock, you can specify those whatever your broker provides. And you can, if you're using forex, you can also have your own core list. Finally these are the time frames, and right now we have 4 time frames. You can specify the font size. If the dashboard looks too big, then you can have a smaller font size, which will also make the dash a bit smaller. And if you want separate columns, like this whole thing is one column, and if you want another, right here if you have a lot of pairs, in that case you can specify this to 2. These are the positioning, like this is the X distance and this is the Y distance. And on button click, when you click on one of these buttons, whether you want it to open in a new window or you want the chart to open in the current window. And this is the template. So if you have this to true, in that case it will use this template to open that chart in a new window. I'll just show you what happens when I click. And you can specify the button width and the row height. If this is a positive value, this will increase. For negative value, like if you specify -5, it will decrease this row height. And this is the max past bars, the same as we had on the arrows. On arrows, even if you specify 5000, it is fine. But with the dashboard, if you specify this to too high a number, then the dash will load a bit slowly. And this is the search bars back for arrows. So right now we have this to 3. So if 3 bars back you have an arrow up or down, a buy or a sell signal, then it will show it to you like 1 bar back, 2 bar back, or 3 bars back. You can have this to 5 or whatever value you like, but usually when a signal occurs, it's best to trade within 1 or 2 bars. And when a buy or sell signal occurs, then the box behind this button, it will show you a green or a red color. So you can specify the color over here. And finally we have the take profit threshold. Right now we have it at 80. So anything that's above 80%, those percent values will be green, and everything below 80, those will be white. This will help you, look at the pairs which are most profitable right now. Like if you were using this strategy on this particular pair, then it has generated 10 signals in the past 1000 bars, and all of those are good, like right here. And if you change the stop right now with ATR, the stop loss values can sometimes be a bit farther compared to take profit. And if you want a 1:1 ratio, in that case you can have fixed take profits, and that will give you a 1:1 ratio. And that, keeping these fixed, it might reduce the take profit percentages. So you can experiment with these values right here on the dashboard. I think I went over all the settings. Right, all of these, these Confluence settings, these are based on the MA Confluence strategy, and I am making a separate video for that, in which I'll explain the entire strategy to you. So this video is just to explain to you, like, all the indicators of this profit percent series will have a free dashboard, and it will have the arrows indicator. This will be paid, and I'll set all the links in the description for these indicators and the MetaTrader site links, where you can download the dashboards for free, and you can get the arrows if you like. You can also, just try these out on Strategy Tester and see how well the indicator performs for your favorite pairs. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy using it. Thanks, guys.